G'day, I'm Mirtschin from southeastern Australia. I live on a farm because I married a farmer, so I live with sheep, cattle, a dog, a cat, hens, peacocks, kangaroos sometimes, and even koalas. So I teach in a really small country school, which is prep through to year 12. So these students are 5 years old right through to 18 years old. I teach IT, and I have taught computer technology, and I have taught it right through from prep right through to year 12. Our students are culturally and geographically isolated. They are very much white Caucasian, so their exposure to other cultures, thinking processes, languages, thoughts and ideologies can be very, very narrow. However, about 8 years ago we started blogging, and my students talked about what their backyards look like. So these students took photographs of what was like in their backyards, which of course are animals, you know, different rock outcrops. We've got volcanic items of interest around us. So they shared their photos and what it was like on their blog. The next day when we woke up and came back to school, we couldn't believe it. We had comments from the world. People from America and other countries had written a comment asking the students questions, saying how fascinating it was to read about what life was like for us. So we thought if we could actually share with the world, we would also love to be able to learn from the world. From blogging, we started to use tools like Skype. So we were able to video conference and interact in real time with other students, educators and experts around the world. So all of a sudden, barriers like classroom walls, oceans, time zones, all sorts of other barriers, time, cost, effort, were no longer a problem for us. We live in a time zone that's very difficult to interact with English-speaking countries like America and Europe. But we are in a perfect time zone with Asia. So my students who really learn Chinese, Mandarin Chinese as a second language, start to be able to use that learning in interacting with others. Other times we have no idea how their language sounds, what it means, so we have to use signage, etc. if we're using video conferencing. But all the time the students are learning valuable 21st century communication skills, skills that are going to be used in their workforce, in the places where they play games, in the places where they network and socially interact. They're learning digital citizenship by actually experiencing it. And all of a sudden, these students are no longer isolated. They know about other cultures. They know what cultures look like. They learn beyond the textbook. They actually learn with people who live there, breathe there, think there, experience there, and can actually ask questions of each other, which makes for so much more powerful learning. We're finding now that mobile devices that they've got in their pocket, and I should have said we don't have any mobile phone service where I work or where I live. So this probably makes technology, Wi-Fi. I've got poor bandwidth much of the time, but you know, we can fight and work our way through all those problems and difficulties. But I find now, because students have got that mobile phone in their pockets, they can actually use it at home when they've got Wi-Fi, and they use apps like WhatsApp, Viber, maybe Skype and you know, their other favourite social networking tools. But if we can network them with, say, students over in Austria and Switzerland, which we have, they can actually message each other both at school or outside school if they've got Wi-Fi, ask questions what if it's like there. So for example, one of my students learnt about the instruments, musical instruments that the Austrian students play. She didn't know what it was, so immediately a photo came through on her mobile device and they were able to ask questions and learn immediately. Curiosity is such a driving force for students, and if we make them curious, if we engage them, they can actually ask those questions at the very time that they experience them. So for me, I love teaching. My classroom is my world, but now the world is my classroom.